you guys have had all kinds of good plays on your touchdown drives. I just did some research on that. It seems like each time you score, even field goals, touchdowns, you got a pretty explosive play in the drive, 30, 40 yards. How is that at all a concern that you get too reliant on that, or is that just the nature of how you get things done?
I think we might be looking into stuff a little too much if we're worrying about having big plays. We want those to happen.
Looking back on Saturday's film, what impressed you most offensively about what you guys did?
I think we can still play a lot better on offense. We left some points on the table. We left some plays on the table. I think we were more efficient, but we still lacked a little bit of execution more often than I would have liked to. So we got better again, but there's still a lot of room for improvement.
You got any different looks this week on your offensive line, just with questions around Brendan in regard? You just go with Brock as your left tackle right now?
We're not going to really comment on Jaime, but we have a depth chart, and the next guy up will be the next guy up.
How does your practice style, the speed with which you guys practice, and the number of reps that your backups get, maybe help when somebody might go down or you might have to play it back?
Yeah, repetition is the key to execution, and we did it a long time ago at Nebraska with 4 groups going at once. We have 2 groups going all the time at a really high pace, get a lot of reps for everybody. That helps. Certainly there's no substitute for live game reps and actually being out there doing it. But anybody that we would put in that's been through camp and been through 3 weeks of the season is going to have had a lot of reps of doing what we ask them to do on offense or defense. So that certainly will help if anybody else needs to play.
Taking into account pace, how close in terms of number of reps do your second and third teamers get compared to what it was like 20 years ago?
Through fall camp it's pretty even. The ones probably get a few more, but we try to spread them out, 1s, 2s, and 3s. During the season, it's about 60% for the 1s and 40 for the 2s.
Scott, you kick off the Big Ten season this week. Just what does this new season mean?
Well, I'm excited to get into Big Ten play. We got a big test on the road this week. Watching Illinois on tape, more on defense so far. They've improved a bunch from last year defensively. I think some of the schematic things they're doing are different. They look bigger and faster to me. You can tell they're older and more experienced than they were a year ago. I'm looking forward to going on the road, and we've been close on the road a few times since I've been here and haven't finished one. So if we get that opportunity Saturday, I want to see our guys see it through to the end.
Is that simple in terms of what's been the difference at home and against on the road, or is there something else that needs to happen?
No, 2 games in particular, we had every chance to win and we didn't. But we had a lot of talk amongst the team about that last week, and the guys found a way to finish the game when they needed to. So we just need to do the same thing on the road. It's kind of a challenge going on the road. It's even more of a challenge when you're playing a night game, have to sit around the hotel all day. Sounds like we're going to have 3 night games in a row, so we're going to have to adapt and play well in those games starting this week.
How important is that evening kickoff for Ohio State, particularly on the recruiting front?
I don't like night games. I'm ready to get it going in the morning and have some time at home after the game and be rested on Sunday. I do like night games from the standpoint that our fans are unbelievable, and it seems to even be better at night. So we'll play when they tell us we're going to play, and I'll get sleep later.
Scott, what stood out about Tony Tuioti since you hired him and the job he's done with the defensive line? And is it basically what you expected when you brought him in?
Yeah, we interviewed a lot of guys, and from a fit with our coaching staff standpoint, he was the best of anybody we hired, and I think from a technique and fundamental standpoint with the defensive line, he was the best of anybody that we interviewed. So he hasn't disappointed at all. I think he's made that group better, and really a lot of guys better from the top to the bottom of the roster and guys that are playing. We have a lot of guys on the D-line that are contributing right now, and every one of those guys has improved since Tony got here.
Where does Lane McCollum kind of fit in that kicker discussion?
Well, it's only Monday, so we'll figure that out as the week goes along. Lane came in and did a good job. You know, I saw him kick a week ago for the first time, and he did a good job. Then he got a little sore from kicking for the first time, so we weren't quite ready to give him a chance out at Colorado. But when he came in Saturday, he did a really good job.
After the game, the Northern Illinois coach talked about Darian, how much of big a presence he is up front and how tough it was to run against him. How big an impact has he made up front for this defensive line?
Yeah, Darian had a really good game. He's solid. He's a leader for us. He's a big body, which is what we need when we play odd front at the nose guard, try to plug up the middle. All those guys up front are playing pretty well, but Darian was a big addition for us, and he was the D-line player of the week for us last week. Had a really solid game.
Scott, I know the block kicks the two block field goals and block extra. Was there a recurring issue or were there different issues?
Kind of different issues. So one came kind of over our left side, and one came from the edge. So, like I said after the game, you don't ever know you have a problem on those type of things till you have a problem. But then you got to get them fixed, or people are going to keep trying the same things.
Darian and Mulberry both are pretty brash guys. You know, say what they think. Is that something that you encourage or at all address with them about setting a tone and mentality for the Flashers?
We try not to tell our guys what to say too much. We try to teach them the right things and the right ways to do things and the right things to say, and then they're going to do what they need to do and want to do. You know, I prefer we didn't say much and nothing leaves this building. I want them to get our guys excited and ready to play, but not talk too much outside of the locker room and the meeting room. Those guys are just both fiery guys and fiery competitors, and they want to win as bad as anyone.
Are defensive scout homes again more on Adrian in the run game? Are you seeing that, or are you seeing any sort of different approach by defenses against him in that area?
Yeah, but, you know, I'm sure defenses have to account for that. You know, we've tried to design some runs for him since he got to Nebraska in a year and a half, and I'm sure people need to account for that. You know, we've played 3 defenses where so far this year where we didn't get what we were expecting in any one of the games, which is unique. I've never had that happen before, but I said this before, South Alabama was mostly even, came in and played us mostly odd. Colorado was 50-50 and played us different than what we'd seen on tape, and then last week we got something that we didn't practice for at all. I don't think Illinois is going to be that way. They might surprise me too. They're good at what they do. They know what to do. They know their assignments in what they do, and I expect that we'll get what we've seen on tape for the most part. That might help us be able to scheme things a little bit.
How does versatility JoJo Doman help you guys out both against the run and defense?
Yeah, JoJo's unique. You know, big and physical enough to play the run for us on the edge, but athletic enough to actually cover and even cover man-to-man when we need him to. He had a good game Saturday. You know, he had some injury issues in fall camp and was just kind of getting back in shape. So I think we're just scratching the surface of what he can accomplish this year.
The way that he made a couple of those tackles, sweeping the way he did, is that something you teach, or is that something he's just naturally good at making?
Yeah, Coach Chins and the boys teach every angle of tackle, every way to tackle. Some guys are better at it than others. Some guys have a knack for it and some have to learn, but JoJo's a guy that has a knack for it. So we're going to teach every way that he might have to approach a tackle, but he's a guy that does it pretty naturally.
You guys, are you able to self-scout at all during the season or in terms of tendencies and stuff? Is that something that's more of an off-season project and not like that stuff?
We do some during season, quite a bit on the bye week of self-scout. We got 2 bye weeks this year, so I'm sure we'll take a hard look on the bye weeks to make sure we're not giving up any tendencies, and then most of that's done in the off-season.
As far as the progress from game 1 to game 3, what have you seen? What areas maybe impressing most in terms of progress?
You know, I thought the defense took a big step forward Saturday, playing 4 quarters. That was a big step. We needed that to happen. Thought the offense executed better. Thought we played at a better pace. within plays and between plays. Those things still need to improve. Offensively, we need to execute at a little higher rate, play a little faster yet. But we took a big step Saturday, and if we build off that, we're going to be in good shape.
I know you don't like to talk about injuries, but how do you feel about your safety situation in general with Deontay out and whatever you can say about Cam?
Well, losing Deontay was big for us. He had an unbelievable camp. I was excited to watch him play this year. He didn't get much of a chance to do anything this year before he went down. It's a testament to Fish and to all those guys in that room, how many guys are playing well right now. The starters are playing well. The guys that are backing up Deontay are playing well. We have a couple walk-ons that are helping us. You're really starting to see the fruits of the walk-on program that Nebraskans love, that I love so much, with guys like Soley and Stallbird playing so well. We got some pretty good depth there. There's a lot of positions, though, where we can't afford to lose too many guys.
How do you manage the plan with your true freshmen? With the exception of Wandale, obviously playing the team, but as you go forward, how much strategy is involved in picking the games that those guys are going to play and when they're going to play, how you're going to use them? And with Vermeer getting in the fourth quarter, is that 1 of 4, or do you see him playing more than that?
Like I've said before, I think some of them are wait and see. Several of the guys are ready to help us on special teams, and we're going to use them when we can on special teams, when we need them. Right now, especially with what's happened to our secondary, we're having to play a lot of those guys on special teams and defense, and they're getting a lot of plays on defense. So we need some of those young guys to give us some good play on special teams so we can get Markel Dismuke and Cam Taylor and those guys off the field a little bit. If a guy's going to be playing a lot, all 4 special teams and some defense, or 3 special teams and offense or defense, we're just going to have to play them. And there's a few guys that fall into that category. But we'll kind of make those decisions as we go along and use the guys that we need. We'll include them in those conversations too and make sure they're good. But almost to a man, every one of them would say they want to play.
With a guy like Noah Full-of-Gates playing on special teams, can that help prepare him for playing on defense, or are those sort of 2 separate things?
They're the same and they're separate. We talk to guys all the time. When you get to the NFL, unless you're a superstar, you're going to be playing on special teams. So it's going to help you. Being out on the field and getting that live game experience helps you a lot, whether it's on special teams or offense or defense. So I think that's why I say I think the 4-game rule is a great rule. I think it helps get guys' feet wet and help them improve, even if they only play 4 and we get a chance to save their year.
What do you see from Illinois, just when you kind of look at them in your second time going against Legacy?
Like I said, I think they've changed quite a bit. Primarily last year we saw cover 2 and man coverage. They're playing a little more quarters now and versions of quarters, mixing in some 3, mixing in some man, still playing a little bit of 2. They're doing a good job disrupting and rerouting receivers to keep guys from getting down the middle of the field. I think the D-line's playing well. There's a lot of movement up front. They're pretty physical at linebacker. They've definitely improved a bunch on defense. I'm impressed with them. Offensively, they put up quite a few points. The running back's a really good player. I'm really impressed with him. And they got some really good people around him. So we got to be ready to go on the road and have a big test.
Did you bless your scholarships and
Yeah, we've decided on one. Jeremiah Stovall is going to go on. He's been a core special teams player for us for a long time. This is his last season. He's a starter on all 4, and there's several guys that deserve it, but we rewarded him with one and close to making a decision on the other.
How do you feel like Adrian's having 3 games thrown against zone defenses? You're probably going to see at least some of that this weekend. How do you feel like he's doing?
Throwing against zone defense. Adrian's played well. Yeah, I think when you think about Adrian around Nebraska, you forget that he's a true sophomore. He's played well enough for us to win in every game. I think he's gotten better in every game. The one thing we keep talking about, when he's decisive, makes decisions, lets the ball rip, or makes a decision and runs, he's really good. So we need to get him in positions where he feels good about what we're doing and he can be decisive and get the ball in the right place.
So let's maybe off the tackle a little bit. Did you play with practice helmets on Saturday? It didn't look like the area codes were on that.
I took the air codes off for that game.
Why?
I don't know, took the air codes off for that game.
Was it a statement to the team just that it's not about you?
No, I just kind of made the decision to take them off.
Will you back this week?
Probably not this week, no.
Anything else for Coach? Given the recent history of road games, and I don't know how superstitious you are or anything, are you willing to try something, maybe something different this week?
No, we just need to do what we do. It's not about anything we do traveling or at the hotel or any superstition. It's about practicing really well and being in the right frame of mind and going and playing the best we can.
Scott, is there any particular reason you don't do walkthroughs like you did when you were a player and Coach Osborne, Coach Solich, the afternoon before the game?
Yeah, first of all, for the sake of our student athletes' education, we want them to be here as long as they can and attend as many classes as they can before we take off on Friday. Secondly, when playing in league games in particular, a lot of the guys have seen the stadium we're going to. As a player, I never really felt like I needed to see the field to go play well on the field. Everybody's got good facilities and the same grass or turf. Could reference a Hoosiers scene if you want me to, but all the fields are 100 yards long. So, and in some cases we don't stay too close to the field, so you're talking about an hour or so of a bus ride just to go check out the field, run around on it, play patty cake, and go back to the hotel. So we'll stick with what we do, and it's worked well.